and it's just got a bit of an edge to it. Oh, I like that guitar riff. Is that a key change? I mean, I like the entire song, who am I kidding? I don't like that. Yeah, it sounds like a slide. Maraca, is it a maraca? Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Chloe and I am a writer and a musician here on YouTube. And yes, as you can tell from the title, I am going to be doing an album reaction today to DAUGHTRY'S Dearly Beloved album, which is actually a recent release. Yes, I feel like there are just a lot of like new albums coming out at the moment, so I'm sorry if a lot of the album reactions are like back to back. I do love doing my album reactions, but it's very hard to spread them out just because I feel like a lot just come out at the exact same time. And I actually discovered another album that came out the same day as Dearly Beloved, which is the Plot in You's swan song, the album. So I might do like a bonus, you know, a bonus video reacting to that, but we'll see. Oh, and one quick thing before I even really get into this video and react to Dearly Beloved, I just want to mention that this arm may look a bit swollen because I had my second vaccine yesterday, and it also really hurts. I was meant to take some paracetamol. I just thought I would say that just in case you were wondering, like, why does my right arm look different? The reason why I get it in my right arm is because I'm left-handed, so it makes more sense to have it in my right arm, you know. And so a little bit about DAUGHTRY. They are actually a 5-piece band, and I believe it was like founded by the lead vocalist, Chris Daughtry, and apparently he was on American Idol over a decade ago. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Like, I was doing like a little bit of research and I found that out. So band members, obviously Chris Daughtry on lead vocals, rhythm and lead guitar, and then you've got Josh Steely, lead guitar, backing vocals, Josh Poole, bass guitar and backing vocals. Sorry, I'm turning so much, it's just my computer is this side of me. Brian Craddock, rhythm guitar, Alvio Fernandez, though I don't think I'm pronouncing that name right, on keyboards and occasional rhythm guitar, and then Brandon Macklin on drums. And so that's just a little bit about DAUGHTRY as a band. They're a 6-piece band. Why did I say 5-piece? I don't know. And then before I jump into the album, I thought it would be worth mentioning the 4 or 3.5 songs that I've already listened to of theirs, which made me want to do this album reaction. So Heavy as a Crown, which is the song that I discovered them through, if that makes any sense. Like, it was the first song of theirs I'd ever listened to, and then you got the acoustic version, and that's why I said like 3.5, and then Lioness and World on Fire. So they are the 3.5/4 songs of theirs I had listened to prior to this album reaction. I will also try and make sure to leave links to previous album reactions that I've done, and also my music discoveries videos as well. We do need to actually listen to the album now. And so there are 13 songs on the album. Number 1 is Desperation, 2 World on Fire, 3 Heavy as the Crown, 4 Changes Are Coming, 5 Dearly Beloved, 6 Cry for Help, 7 Asylum, 8 Evil, 9 The Victim, 10 Somebody, 11 Call You Mine, 12 Lioness, and then 13 Break Into My Heart. And yes, I have already listened to 3 songs on this album. So I've already listened to World on Fire, Heavy as the Crown and Lioness. So no, I will not be reacting to them in this video. This often happens anyway, like it often happens that there are songs on an album that I've already listened to, so I don't listen to them in an album reaction because it doesn't make sense, you know, and it just kind of makes it a bit easier to film as well. So let's jump into this. So let's give song number 1, Desperation, a listen. I like that guitar riff. It might just be me, but I think I can actually hear like the guitar strings, like it just sounds a bit muted almost. Like it goes da 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 da, and it's kind of muted. I like that. I can definitely hear the muted strings. Ooh, that is interesting, because I quite like that chill sort of vibe to the beginning of the song with all of the vocals. It's quite nice and mellow, and now the lead vocalist, so Chris, so how would you say it? It's like he's putting more power into the vocals, into the lyrics, now that we're getting into the chorus and further into the song. I like that. Begin with, you know, he's like in his chest voice, and now it's like it's starting to make, you know, its way up to head voice, and there's just more power to it, you know. Oh, and now we're back into those mellow vocals again. I was kind of just listening to the chorus, or at least I think it's the chorus anyway, and I don't think he's actually in head voice. I think it's just that there's more power to his chest voice. And now I think this is the middle 8, where it goes ready or not, yeah, ready or not, yeah. Obviously I'm not going to sing it because I never warm my voice up before these videos, so I think it would just be a bit too harsh on my voice. I don't feel like my voice is probably damaged enough. But now in the middle 8 it's starting to get a bit more scream to it, though I don't think it's necessarily scream. I think it's more like rasp to the vocals, which I have heard in the other songs that I've previously listened to of theirs. And at this point we are getting like towards the end of the song. There is definitely a lot more power in Chris's voice at this point, but it still doesn't really sound like it's in his head voice. I could be wrong. It could be like, I mean, I'm not like a vocal coach or anything. I pick things up from like watching vocal coaches react to songs and everything like that, but it does sound like it's kind of a mixture of chest and head voice. But obviously I can't be certain, so please don't listen to me talking about vocals. I'm more so kind of, well, I should focus more on production really, because that's the part of music that I'm most into, so it makes more sense for me to just focus on production instead of like vocal things and techniques and everything like that. I'll try to focus on production. Okay, and then we are just going to skip straight over World on Fire and Heavy as a Crown, because obviously I've listened to them already, so I am just going to jump straight to Changes Are Coming. I will say though, I liked Desperation, I liked the song, but I do think it's just way too soon to be judging how much I like it or not. It's one of those things where you have to listen to the song over and over again to kind of get used to it, to be able to like actually like it, you know. But yes, we are now going to move on to song number 4, Changes Are Coming. Oh, we're going straight in with this one. I think I can hear a guitar. I'm not sure. Yes, there's definitely a guitar there. Maybe a bass, because it does sound quite low. I do like that guitar though. Okay, I'm already liking this song. Oh, I really like those 2 lines. Oh my god, I already love like the first verse anyway, just because of the lyrics, you know, in the darkest of the night, waiting for the light to come. I feel like that's just like very, what's the word, symbolic of depression, because it's like always so dark. And I have, you know, had that experience with depression enough to kind of get that sort of vibe from this song already. And then it's got when the demons in your mind remind you of the damage done. That's also like, is the word reminiscent of depression as well? Or maybe anxiety, maybe both. Oh, I liked that kind of vocal thing with like, what was it, grave? on that grave part. Grave. I can't do it. I can't even do it, but that is like a very... It's interesting because it's kind of like he goes from... Well, Chris goes from chest voice up to head voice and back down to chest voice. Kind of starts out kind of heavy, you know, the word grave, and then on the A he kind of goes up into head voice. It's kind of like, it sounds a bit like a flip, but seriously, don't take my word for it. But I like that. Wait, are there harmonies there? Oh, I like that lyric as well. Hit the ground, face down in the dirt, never giving up when it hurts. That just, it hits you, doesn't it? That never giving up when it hurts. I can relate. I don't know why, but I already really like this song. And I think it's more so to do with the lyrics than anything else. I love the lyrics so much. And I think it's also to do with the way that they're sung as well. It's not like they're nice and mellow like Desperation. And it's just got a bit of an edge to it. It's kind of a bit like screaming. The way it's also being sung is getting the message across about fighting and like dealing with things like depression and anxiety and everything like that. I can't find the words of what I'm like actually trying to say, but I feel like there is just quite a lot of power to it, kind of like I've said before, to Chris's voice. In a lot of parts of this song, which is, I feel like it just kind of gets the message across easier as opposed to if he was just kind of singing mellow like he was in Depression. And I quite like that. I quite like that there's a lot of power to his vocals in this second verse / pre-chorus, because it does convey that message of fighting the war like a lot easier. I don't really know what I'm trying to say. Oh, I like that guitar riff. If you didn't know, yes, I am a guitarist. I always listen out for these things. Oh my god! And now we're in the middle 8 and it's kind of mellowing out. I need to stop saying the word mellow, but it's kind of, you know, you've had the heavy drums and that awesome guitar riff, and now it's transitioning into like a piano and less powerful vocals, which I like. I always like that kind of thing in a middle 8, especially like when the rest of the song is quite powerful and heavy. I do quite like that it goes from that to a nice and easy, simple middle 8. Oh my god, but it literally only does that for one line. But that guitar riff is still going on in the background of this middle 8. That's kind of cool. Oh, is that... I think that guitar riff is literally just the same, but it's just lower, and it's not like the one before the middle 8. It just kind of allows for like a better or an easier listen. I think the word I'm looking for is like, it's better for an easier listen when you haven't got like higher. It's just easier to listen to like vocals, especially with a guitar in the background. It is easier to listen to if it's lower notes, because obviously the melody and the vocals, melody / vocals, are like gonna be quite high, if that makes any sort of sense. It probably doesn't. I'm probably just complicating things way too much. Ooh, nice. I liked that. I really liked that. And I feel like it's such a positive message as well, like changes are coming, yeah, we're headed for better days. Even though the song kind of starts out on a sad note, like talking about depression, going in the darkest of the night, waiting for the light to come when the demons in your mind remind you of the damage done. It starts out kind of sad and negative. I wouldn't necessarily say it's quite negative to begin with. It just kind of starts out with how depression feels, and then it kind of goes into that positive message saying that, you know, changes are coming, better days are coming, and, you know, it's like that feeling is temporary. I like it. I liked that so much. That's going to be one of my favourites. We are now going to move on to song number 5, called Dearly Beloved. So this is the song that the album is actually titled after. starting out nice and slow. This started out slow, but it's going straight into it. Straight into those vocals, straight into those instruments that I can't quite pick out. There's definitely a guitar in there, and I quite like that the lyrics are going quite quickly already. Okay, I was not expecting that, because it kind of started out nice and slow and there's not much power to the vocals, and suddenly, boom, in the chorus, we've got that rasp, we've got that power. I say we, them. Chris has got that power, and he's really going into that chorus with, I don't know if it's like rasp or if it's kind of verging on screamo. I'm not entirely sure. And I do quite like some of these lyrics, like the first verse, the pre-chorus. I mean, I already like all of the lyrics, but in particular, my favourite so far, I think you know that I'm not one for letting go. It goes to show sometimes the ones we love, we tend to hurt the most. I'm already liking this song, and it's also, it really goes in with like the drums, and I think there's a guitar in there. There's gotta be. There's always a guitar in these, you know, like lead guitar anyway, electric guitar. There is definitely a guitar in there, like in the, I think it was the chorus and then the post-chorus. There was definitely some sort of guitar riff going on that I liked. I liked that. I haven't even finished listening to it yet. But I do really like that line in the second verse that goes, "We wear our scars as proof that we are still alive." I love that. Okay, hold up. Is that a key change in the middle eight / the bridge? I feel like people are always going to be kind of confused when I say middle eight. It's literally just 8 bars, basically, in the middle. That's why it's called a middle eight. Duh. But a lot of people do call it the bridge because it just kind of bridges everything together, you know. I was going to say it's either a key change or kind of just those chords are changing ever so slightly and it's more like a sharp note. That's definitely a key change. Definitely a key change. There's that guitar riff again. Oh, I liked that. It kind of went, "I swear to God it's not for nothing." I actually kind of surprised myself with that. But I'm liking this outro. I mean, I like the entire song. Who am I kidding? Swear to God it's not for nothing. Oh my God, I love that so much. And it ends with that, like, that long guitar note. And that's literally just how the song ends. I just enjoyed that so much. I mean, I can't get over it. I really enjoyed that song, actually. But now we are going to move on to number 6, Cry for Help. I get the feeling I already know what this is kind of going to be about. Okay, so I think this song is already starting out on like a minor note, minor key, minor chord. I quite like that, actually, you know, that last word of the first verse where it starts out like in, you know, like a chest voice, but then it kind of goes up into like a head voice and like a very light sound. And yeah, I think I kind of did get it right on what I thought this song was going to be about, and it was going to be quite sad. I'm listening to the chorus now as I'm reading the lyrics, which does just go, "Just trying to hold steady, the world's getting heavy when you can't hold the weight any longer." If you've struggled with depression yourself, like, you kind of relate to that. I'm so confused by that guitar in the background though, because obviously I feel like I'm paying more attention to the... It's already on his bloody break. Okay, so I can't actually remember what I was saying because my boyfriend called me. Oh yeah, I was saying about how that guitar in the background was kind of confusing me because it sounds just kind of odd. It sounds like it's being strummed, but it doesn't sound like an actual acoustic. I think I was also just saying that, like, I need to just listen to the instrumentation a bit more instead of just the lyrics. I mean, it's so hard to listen to absolutely everything on the first listen. Well, at this point now, between the chorus and the second verse, there's a guitar riff between the chorus and the verse, so I think in the chorus it was just being strummed, but I don't think it's actually in a standard tuning. Maybe there's like two guitars, maybe there's one, maybe you've got the rhythm guitar and a lead guitar in there. That could be why I'm kind of confused. I also do really like those ooh in between the lines, and I think it's mainly like the last line of the verse kind of going into the pre-chorus, and actually in the pre-chorus in between all of the lines. I really like that. It kind of just adds, because the lines are quite short, so it's just like it kind of fills in those bars. I do really like the message of the song though, because it's basically just saying, you know, it's okay to cry for help. I particularly like the chorus because of just the way it's kind of worded, like cry for help, cry like rain, let it fall down your face, let the dam break. It's like just cry it all out, you know, let it all out, and don't hold back. Ooh, I like that last word of the middle. Wrong. I think that's how it went anyway. Oh no, it carries on. Oh, and now we've got some acoustic guitar strumming going on. Nice, very nice. I like that touch to it. I quite like that. I feel like Chris is kind of just going up into head voice, but he's still got quite a lot of power to his voice instead of that light, airy sort of sound to it. He's like really opening up his voice and his face, I think it is. Yeah, obviously you'd open it with your face for like belting out. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he's belting this last bit out. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. You've got that ooh in the background still, which I quite like. And then it's just ending with that guitar, that last note on overdrive. So I quite like that. But that gave me chills, actual chills. That last part of the song, amazing. That was so good. I am so impressed with this album, and I just love the message behind it as well. Let's stop blabbing about that, because we are now going to listen to song number 7, which is called Asylum. What can I say about how this song starts? But I do like that. I like that it goes straight into the vocals, and none of the other instruments really start, and it kind of sounds a bit like a radio as well. I want to listen to that beginning again though. And then it's going straight in with the guitar and the drums and everything like that. There's probably a bass in there somewhere as well. There's also a piano in there. I don't know why, but it always surprises me when there's a piano in a rock song. But it happens a lot. I don't know why, but though I like the style of this song, I'm just a little disappointed about some of the lines in this song, because it literally says grab the noose, the psycho's loose, and for me I don't like that, and I'm not entirely sure why. Oh, but I do like that guitar riff in that background there between the chorus, and then it says here that it's the pre-chorus, but actually it's more like the middle 8, because that is the point that the middle 8 would be at in a song. I like that high note though, and it's not even like Chris singing the high note, it's literally just the guitar. And then it just kind of ends nicely on, I think it's a piano, but I think it sounds more like a synthetic piano. I'm not really sure how to feel about that song, because I'm just a little bit confused on what it's actually supposed to be about, which I think is why, I've kind of been put off this song. I mean, I like the style of it, I like the rhythm to it, I quite like how snappy the lyrics are as well, along with, the rest of the instrumentation. I just don't really get what it's supposed to be about. Am I missing something? Maybe I am. But now we're going to move on to song number 8, which is called Evil. Okay, so I've just listened to that first verse twice, and I really like that technique, that vocal technique on the word feeling, because I feel like it doesn't really go feeling, it kind of goes feeling instead of ending quite harsh on a G. Oh God, got a feeling. And it's quite like hollow as well. So it's kind of like feeling is in like a head voice, and then it's a bad one. It's like more sort of chest voice. And that kind of goes for like season as well. Season, and it's a mad one. I do like the actual vocals though, and not like the lyrics, focusing on Chris's voice. I quite like that. I'm guessing this is the pre-chorus. I quite like that there's a bit of an edge to his voice, a bit of rasp. Oh, I like those higher notes that he's reaching in the chorus. Also, there's like this dun 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 sound in the background. I feel like that's the best way to describe it, but I cannot for the life of me pick out what that instrument is. I don't know why, but at first I thought xylophone, but then I thought, well, that's not right. Oh, and then in this second verse, it's kind of got a similar, is it like a layout? What's the word I'm looking for? It's got a similar format to it, I guess, where it kind of goes, got a feeling. But on that feeling, it's got more power to it as opposed to the first verse. Ooh, there's a guitar in the background there, and it kind of sounds like, you know, the note's being picked and it's just ringing out, but it doesn't sound like overdrive, it sounds like distortion. Oh my God, is that distortion? I think that guitar in the background has got distortion on it, which I quite like. Also, I'm definitely sure that there's some sort of clap in the background as well, and I also really like that. Oh, and we've now got a very short middle eight, like in terms of like lyrics anyway, but there might be some sort of instrumental part to it. That guitar in the background is wicked though, I love that. In the middle eight, I think there is just a slight chord change to it, like to the chord progression. What is that instrument? I have no fucking clue. Okay, so I actually quite liked that song, and I think I like it more based on the instrumentation and the vocal sort of style, if that makes more sense, you know, as opposed to the lyrics. And I feel like it's just very like Halloween-y, if that also makes any sense. But yeah, I did like that actually. Now we are going to move on to song number 9, which is called The Victim. Oh, so no, I don't think I'm going to comment on the songs as much now, because I've definitely already listened to like the first verse and the chorus, and now I'm on the second verse, and there are just a lot of S's in there, and I kind of like that. I like it when there's alliteration in a song. There is definitely a guitar in the background though, and I can kind of hear that because obviously, you know, I can. That's what I'm like tuned to like listen to. That's what I'm more likely to pick out of a song than anything, because obviously, you know, I'm a guitarist myself, but it's quite, the notes of the guitar are actually quite low, so for anyone else, but for people that aren't necessarily a guitarist, it would be harder to hear because it's like so low and kind of mixes in really well with the rest of the instrument. Nice! That guitar riff, I like that. I like that. Ooh, nice. And now for the middle eight, it's being like broken down, and like the instruments are being taken away, so you can actually hear the lyrics, and there's clapping in the background. Also, that's either a piano or an organ in the background. I think it's actually an organ. Oh, nice. I like that ending. I thought for a second that it carried on, but no, it doesn't. It literally just kind of like, it just kind of sounds like, oh, right, yeah, it sounds like a slide. It sounds just like you pick a string on a guitar and then you just slide your finger down. That's what it sounds like. I did really like that song, but I just feel like I don't really have much to say now because I'm kind of getting towards the end. of this, but we are now going to listen to song number 10, which is called Somebody. I like how like soft this starts out, you know, with, it sounds like a piano and then there's some sort of beat in there, almost like a bass drum. Oh, I like this one. Oh, we've got some snapping going on in the background. Oh, and some ooh. They're just maybe a key higher or something, I'm not sure. Oh, I really like that line. What doesn't hurt just isn't real. Wait, there's some sort of shaker in there that looks kind of dodgy, but there is definitely like, what's it called? Is it a shaker? Maraca? Is it a maraca? Maybe it is. Oh, I'm liking all of those different layers of the vocals in this bridge, which, yes, I've been calling middle eight. I really like all of those layers in that middle eight. That's quite nice. Oh, was that overdrive on a guitar again? I think it was. Aww, and now there's an acoustic guitar strum coming in. I like that for the chorus. I like that. Oh, I like those two different layers of the vocals, like the two main layers, because it's got like the main sort of lyrics, because you've got everybody needs somebody, everybody needs someone, and you've got all of that kind of just repeating over and over. I think this is actually the outro that we're in now, and then in the background of that you've got like a load of O's and somebody to love as well, like quite powerful, and like it's almost like the lead singer, Chris, is really belting that out, and I don't know what it is. I always like it when songs do that, so I need to keep on listening to that. It's the kind of song that would be perfect for like duetting with someone. Is that the right term? For like doing a duet with someone, because like one person can do the like everybody needs somebody part, and then the other person can be doing like the more lead vocals with like, or maybe it's more like backing vocals with the O's and all of the somebody to love's part. Oh, and then it ends with like an O just being like strung out, and then you've got like an acoustic guitar strumming in the background as well, like ending on that as well. That's so, I like that. That's so good. I really liked that song. I feel like I'm going to end up with a lot of favourites, but we are now going to move on to listening to song number 11, which is called Call You Mine. Oh wow. It's starting out with a muted acoustic guitar strumming, like muted strumming on an acoustic guitar. That would be a better wording for it. I like that already. And now we've got more instruments coming, because to begin with it was literally just vocals and guitar, and now I can kind of hear a string instrument coming in, and I want to say violin, but I can never quite get string instruments right, so I wouldn't take my word for it on that. I like how that muted guitar strumming in the background is continuous so far in the song. Oh, and then I'm getting a bit of a hint of a lead guitar coming in as well. Oh my god, and there's a piano. All of these instrumental layers are doing quite nicely together. Oh, and now Chris has got a bit more power to his voice, and I like that. He's kind of really going into the lyrics, and it almost feels, I feel like there's more instruments coming in as well, but I can't quite tell what they are. Oh, I think maybe we've got some like backing vocals going on, and there's a bit more of like a rasp to Chris's voice. Just knocked a bottle over. Oh, and now that muted guitar is no longer muted, and it's just strumming, so the strings are actually like ringing out. Oh my god, this was written by Chris Daughtry, and I'm guessing his, I want to say sister, Deanna Daughtry? The wife. She's his wife. Oops. She's his wife. And I think that guitar strumming is now muted again, because I don't hear it ringing out in this middle eight. Oh, and we've got more of like a lead guitar riff in there as well now. I also just like how simple that guitar riff is in the background with that lead guitar riff / electric guitar. I always feel like people are going to be confused by like the two different guitars. Like I feel like people know acoustic from electric, but I can confuse some people sometimes when I say lead / rhythm. But electric is lead and acoustic is more so rhythm. Ooh, and I liked that little guitar slide at the end, but it definitely goes up the string that's being played and not down, as opposed to, I think it was the end of The Victim, but I can't remember, I'm not too sure. And then, because I have already listened to Lioness, we're just going to move straight on to number 13, which is called Break Into My Heart. Ooh, we're starting out with a piano, that's different. Ooh, those first two lines hit kind of deep. Been numb so long, I just want to feel something. I used to get that all the time before I went on Sertraline. Oh, we've got I wouldn't say that's a key change, I would just say that that's a different chord from the rest of the song. I don't know what it is, but I always think that songs are so powerful when they, you know, just start out with the vocals and just an accompanying guitar or piano, but this is definitely piano. I do quite like the beat of this song and just the way it flows. I like how some of these lines just flow straight into each other. I quite like that. And now, at the end of this second pre-chorus, there's definitely a lot more power in Chris's voice, and I quite like that. And I also feel like this kind of second part of the song, so like the second pre-chorus and the chorus, I feel like maybe they are actually an octave higher, which would make sense. Either that or there's just more belting from Chris, and that's why it sounds like it's an octave higher. And we're back to the oohs. Ooh, I like that sustained note at the end where it's just one note is being played on the piano and it's being sustained basically. But I've actually been very impressed with this entire album, and I'd probably say my favourites are Changes Are Coming, Cry for Help, Evil, and to just cut it short, Break Into My Heart. But I will just be listening to this album over and over now, and hopefully at some point, well, probably next year when I do a complete review of everything, I will talk more about it. But I just really liked this album. Editing itself jumping in here because I realised just how like short my final overview of the whole album was, because at the time when I was filming this, I had been filming for a couple hours and my battery was flashing at me, and so I kind of rushed. But I did thoroughly enjoy the album. I was very impressed with it actually, because I don't know what it is. Sometimes with album reactions, I find that they can be somewhat disappointing, but with this one, I was thoroughly impressed. And my actual favourite songs from the album, I have already mentioned a couple, but not all of them. So my favourites from the album are Changes Are Coming, Cry for Help, Evil, Somebody, and Break Into My Heart. Those were my 5 favourites. Obviously, I've listened to Daughtry before and realised just how insanely talented Chris Daughtry is, but I think their new album, Dearly Beloved, just kind of took that to a whole new level, and I was really impressed with his vocals and the power in his voice and just how good he is at it. So yeah, I was very impressed. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe down below and ding the bell to be notified for every time I upload. All of my social media links will also be down in the description for you to check out, along with all of the links I can possibly remember to link in the description. I enjoyed this. I like doing my album reactions, as you probably know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!